landscape of the sales intelligence and the customer's success evolved over the last decades, in your view?
Okay, how it has evolved. So one is obviously customers are no longer looking for support providers or service providers. They are looking for partners whom they can trust. Now, think it from the perspective of a CEO who's leading the entire company. He has to face pressure from the overall shareholders, the board, the people who are working in their organization. He needs a partner. Now, if a salesperson can tell him that we are the partners with you, we are there for you right now in your bad times as well as good times, we got your back. I think that trust building is pretty important. So everyone is now looking for that trust building equation. In fact, most of the buyers in the professional services world are no longer looking for a fabulous solution. They're looking for the people whom they can trust. And that trust building is very important. So rather than just being a service provider that customers or clients are looking for those just service providers, that's not the case anymore. They are looking for partners. And once you become a partner or a trusted provider of certain services in an organization, it becomes very difficult for any other organization to come into that equation and take away your business. Why? Because that trust is there. There is a very interesting book, Neuroselling, as well as there is a new book, Neuroselling 2.0. I'm forgetting the author's name. Now, there are multiple references that have been made in that book which refer to this entire phenomena of trust building. People talk about rapport building, that the salesperson is going to the CEO's office and he sees his family picture. Hey, you have two children. I also have two children. We have something in common. Let's discuss business. That's not how the business is done anymore. You have to build that trust, and that trust building happens only when you tell your own story to them. Again, another book, starting with the why, from Simon Sinek. He talks about this why phenomenon again, and how it is built for a particular individual is based on your own values, your dominant traits. Once you start from that place, I think that's how the overall trust building happens, and that eventually leads to becoming a trust partner rather than a service provider. I hope, Garima, I was able to help you out with your answer.
Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, you were talking about the trust partner over here. But, sir, when it comes to the role of shareholders, how do they lead the company to the success or in successful business, transforming interventions are the goals they are looking for?
Okay, Garima, can you repeat the question? I'm not sure I got the question over there.
Sure, sir. Then, what does the role of shareholders' engagement play in driving successful business transformation?
All right. Okay, let me take an example. I'm not sure whether Netflix is a publicly listed company or not. Pardon for that, but I'm just taking a hypothetical example. There was something known as Blockbuster, if someone has heard about it, back in the US, where oldies like me used to go, right, rent certain CDs and DVDs, bring it back to their home, watch it on their VCD or DVD players. Once they've watched it, they used to give them back to Blockbuster. Netflix also started with a similar kind of business model, and it was trying to compete with Blockbuster. But the CEO or the founder of Netflix saw that, internet speeds are increasing. It's no longer in kbps, it's in mbps, and now even in gbps. What if we can give video on demand to the customer, so that hassle of they going to the store, renting DVDs, coming back and then again mailing it back or going physically to the store can be changed. That was the business model. He went to Blockbuster for a merger discussion, and Blockbuster people just laughed at him. Ha 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 ha, what funny thing it is. This cannot happen. This is not the business model of the future. The business model that we have of having a physical store will work completely going forward. What happened? Blockbuster filed bankruptcy. It was acquired, or the assets or the stores of Blockbuster were acquired by some other company. I'm forgetting the name. And now see where Netflix is. So the focus of the CEO was on the future model of services or the requirements of customers as per their changing lifestyles. Some of you might not have even heard about this Blockbuster. And most of you wouldn't have thought that, okay, Netflix also had certain brick and mortar stores, or they were just mailing the DVDs directly to the viewers. It was never ever a digital first model first, but they evolved. Now, the point that I'm trying to make over here is that visionary leader saw what are the changes happening with respect to the changing consumer preferences, and he was able to adopt the digital first model. Now, similarly, if a company who's publicly listed and they're changing that business model because of a digital transformation altogether, well, there are various levels of digital transformation, and I'm talking about is changing the entire business model. I think the shareholder value creation happens automatically, right? Because the CEO focused on that vision becoming a reality, right? Everyone worked towards it. They had to set up their own server farms, etc. They even had to set up their own, studio because Disney, etc., and Fox Entertainment just pulled out their shows and movies from their platform, so they had to build their own studio altogether. So they were continuously evolving, but that happened because of one vision of how the future would look like. He was able to anticipate the end consumer needs, and the remaining was just an aftermath of that decision and working towards that goal. I hope that helps, Garima.
Certainly, sir. Sir, you were talking about the automation. So, what does the role of automation and digital interaction plays in enhancing sales strategy today?
Digital interaction and automation. Okay, I'll pick up these 2 points separately. Now, one about automation. Okay, let me give you an example. So, and by the way, folks, just to bring some, demarcation, I'm pretty sure everyone might be riding very high on the Gen AI, you can say bandwagon. So am I, guilty as charged. But automation became first. So at times it's called the first generation AI also, right? Now, what happens is automation works if there are set rules, set inputs, and a desired way of particular output. That Gen 1 AI works, that automation works. Now, because of this automation, my team, the entire team, the overall outlay of support that they could offer in one particular year was around 150,000 hours or 150,000 hours in a year at a very higher stage. Out of that, because of automation, per year, my team was able to save 20,000 hours. Can someone quickly, if that is allowed, quickly do a calculation of how much it is? So year on year, it was roughly around 10 to 12% of efficiency gains coming into the picture of performing certain low value add repetitive tasks through automation. Because of the automation tools that are there, whether it was make.com or UiPath at that point in time, we were able to save 20,000 hours, reinvest those 20,000 hours in doing, certain value added work that was actually required by our clients. So that was the power of automation, but that was only done for tasks and projects that were repetitive in nature. Power BI came into the picture. We added certain of the dashboards directly to Power BI, where we were creating manual dashboards in Excel formats or in PowerPoints. That totally went away. And we were able to save about 15 FTs worth of, or 15 employees worth of productivity and use it someplace else. And that also meant that for our sponsors, they didn't have to burgeon the overall bill for our salaries year on year. And I think the overall cost for the team remained stable, most likely, but it didn't, ever cross low single digits year on year. That was the power of automation. So doing away with those, repetitive tasks, automation helped over there. Now, the second question, Garima, I'm so sorry. What was the second question that you asked? What was the second theme? One was automation and the other one was?
Digital interaction.
Okay, digital interaction. I'm not sure what you exactly mean by digital interaction, but let me tell you one thing. Before COVID, whenever we used to get on a call with someone in the US, if someone is based out of London, Shanghai, or whatever, we were given one telephone line per manager. That was the code, and you used to share that code, right, with that
Mhm.
person and whosoever wanted to join that call, and it was a telephonic or voice only collaboration that was happening, calling that was happening.
Okay.
COVID happened, we saw Zoom. Microsoft also woke up suddenly and they said, hey, you know what? Skype will not do. We haven't developed it. We need a new solution altogether. Teams came into the picture, and so did Google Meet, so on and so forth. Now, out of the habit, everyone saw that, though our ESG focus is also on reducing on carbon emissions, I think Zoom Teams call are way effective, efficient in each and every way. It saves time for everyone, right? So much so forth that the CXOs or the buyers of the consulting services would love to interact over a digital medium first and then only, proceed with certain discussions. While doing an analysis, I saw that the overall travel cost for KPMG has gone down drastically in double-digit percentages over the past 5 years. Reason being, everyone is very comfortable with digital interaction wherever it happens. Right. So everyone is welcoming that digital interaction and video calls and boards, live brainstorming sessions, having whiteboards, etc. is the way going forward. I'm not sure if you have seen the latest movie, War of the Worlds, that was, I think, released on Netflix, Hotstar, or Amazon Prime. Either of these three platforms. Think it shows a very utopian world of sorts, wherein everything is happening digitally. It's a merger of all the digital interactions that are happening, number one, all the drone related technologies that are there, and agentic AI that is being used by a particular CIA intelligence analyst to work out different theories, what's happening with the alien invasion, etc. So I think it's a very good watch, and I think it talks about the world that we are currently living in. So that level of physical interaction is going down. uh, I am a traditional person, to be very honest. So even if work from home was happening or hybrid was happening, I used to be there in office 4 out of 5 days. Why? Because I love interacting with my team members, and anyone could just come up to me. And I also felt that work can be done quite quickly if I'm there in office. Certain decisions can be made. I can interact with so and so many person. But the way forward, things are going to happen is that yes, this digital interaction, and you, particularly you folks, are technology natives. I had to learn Zoom, Team as a technology, okay, because my technological exposure was the biggest one for me was coming off cable TV back in 1992. And right now, I don't have a cable connection at my home. For you, you are living this digital technology day in, day out. So that's the way going forward, because tomorrow, what will happen is you are the folks who will take these particular technologies ahead, and everyone will be very comfortable, super duper comfortable in using that digital interaction.